Mhm.
And I should point out that this
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? A very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning. Just confirm if my sound is okay. Just confirm. Just confirm. Is everything all right? Just confirm. Is everything all right? Just confirm. Is everything all right? Let's confirm. How are you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is my sound okay? Market is crazy. We really want to talk about this right now. Yes, so this is a very beautiful day actually because everything is really moving in a very crazy way. So the moment you just join this, ensure that you like this live, ensure that you subscribe if this is your first time to be here. Let's just engage on the chat, listening. Good morning, ready for the week. How are you doing? It's on Monday, so we are starting. We really need to know what is going to happen this week because there are a lot of things that you need to know as a trader. There's a video that I was making and was telling people instead of just following zile vitas in a TikTok. You know, there are so many people who are following the fight that is on TikTok. Why don't you follow the fight that is really going on the Iran and Israel, and just know what you can really anticipate on that from the market, and it's really going to help you instead of just following useless things. That is not really going to help at all. Come on. What do we have here? What do we have here? So this is very critical because this week is really going to be very important. So fundamentally, that is why we're going to check mostly, because sometimes, you know, when you analyze this and you try to scalp from the market, when there is uncertainty like this, you can actually end up kicking the stop loss. Is really very easy, very close. Like you can just eat the stop loss, and sometimes it's not because your technical analysis lied to you, but maybe you failed to combine between them. Like you failed to combine between technical analysis and the fundamental analysis, and then you end up losing a lot of things. Now, what is happening this week is really going to be interesting because in the next like few hours, if you don't know, Trump tweeted on, actually not in on Twitter, actually been nimekuwa nikiwachanua sana, like, you know, I've been giving you this information for free, telling you that Trump does not really tweet on Twitter. So he posted on the Truth Social and signed is giving Iran 48 hours. That is actually 2 days from Saturday. So I think this is going to be happening around tonight. And if Iran does not open the Strait of Hormuz, then kaboom, it goes to hit the nuclear facilities. And because that is really going to be very serious, and that is what I want us to talk about. What is going to be happening to the market? Why is gold selling? Because some people normally hoped to move to the gold side. For those who can remember, the first week when this market moved up, when this war broke out, we were live on that Sunday, and I told you I'm not going to be buying the gold because of so many reasons. Sometimes gold is not the safe haven, and that is what you don't want to think about when you hear about the war. You need to think about the inflation. You need to think about the inflation so much and forget about the gold. So that is what we are going to want us to check about. What has been happening over the weekend, what we are waiting to see, what is the next step, and what is the likelihood for this market to move. So the pair that you can see right there is the silver. So this is a silver. Remember last week we were buying silver when it moved all the way to 67. Yes, we moved to that. And of course, silver started moving up. So before even the day closes, I decided to close all my positions. I think I was in a break even. So that was not that much. And so at least we broke even from that market, and it was really crazy. So last week was really very crazy because you can see already the silver starts the 60. So that is really crazy. If you compare to the highest the silver has really achieved from this market, which is around, let me show you, which is around highest of 120. That means that we are 50% down. 50% down is crazy. Look at this. Look at this here. Do you see? This is very serious. You see, this silver actually around the same here, 2026, around January, silver hit 121. That is when the silver was actually declared as the rare metal. Silver was declared as rare metal, and the silver you can see 120. Let me expand this so that you can see. Okay, it's 120. That is what we got from the silver. That was very serious, eh? That this is not very serious, but this is very, very serious. 120. Look at that. Look at this. This is 120. If you look at this high here, this is 121.5. This is the highest the silver has actually achieved. And actually, this is the same thing here. You will get now the silver moving down all the way to 60. So what is I have of 60? Actually, 120 is actually 60, and that is 50% down. So that is really crazy. What is happening to this market? And I think something has to happen to it. And the reason we are getting this actually touched that is 14. Almost 14 something. That is really crazy. Comparing that gold was trading around 5,600. How many money is that? That's actually 1,600. Then you're going to see silver money actually happens to this market. These are very big numbers. Sometimes you get this when there's a recession, and this is really, really, really cool. What is actually happening in this market. Oh, sorry, that sound was very crazy. So this is what is happening to the silver. So allow me to repeat that again so that we can just move on smoothly. So this is what is happening to the silver. This is what has been happening to the silver side. So this is what we get. So if you compare, sorry for that. I think my sound is okay. Is okay right now. Am I audible? Oh, sorry. Oh. All right. Let me just repeat that again. We have the silver. If you look at the silver right now, the silver was actually trading at 121.5, and right now the silver has actually moved 50% of that. That is 60. That is really 60. And you know what moved this silver to all the way to 121 is very simple. It's because last year silver was declared as a rare metal, number one, and the prices of the silver are actually moving so fast and very high. Right now we have two things that are moving the prices of silver down. Number one is because the business of silver is actually just closed down. Like doing business on the silver is really crazy right now. Number two, we have the DXY, we have the dollar, which is actually we are going to be looking on right now. And I know so many people, if you remember, very just repeat that again, that when the war started, I told you that I'm not going to be interested in gold at all. Actually, we started with WTI, and actually, you know, the difference between you need to know the difference between WTI and the Brent oil. Those two are different. Those two are different. So when you talk about the Brent oil, is the oil, yes, but the price of the Brent oil is the one that is used globally, like to determine the prices for everything. That's why sometimes when you go to the Bloomberg, there are Bloomberg TV and most of the investing websites, you're going to see they're monitoring the prices for the Brent oil. So if you're looking on this, you need to check on the how the Brent oil is really performing, because that is the most important. It's just the same like how we normally use dollar to rate gold, to rate many currencies, to rate Bitcoin. That is now the round of commodities. That is the round now of currencies. But when it comes now to the round of oil prices and all that, then I think the Brent oil is the main goal that we normally look at on this scenario. But if you look at the Brent oil has actually been moving up. The reason I'm saying that is because sometimes you may see the Brent oil moving up, and US oil, which is US, or maybe sometimes call it, many people call it the New York oil. So sometimes you're going to see it just lowering down. So you need to check on that. So well, that is what you are looking at here. Now, if you look at the prices of gold are really down, and already gold has touched below 4,000, which is around 41,000, 4,100, which is absolutely here. You remember the last crash that we got, market went all the way to 44, and I know maybe this market might have trapped some people here to buy maybe at this level here. I as well was waiting to see this market reversing from this candle right here. You see, this is the level that we were just waiting for, but you can see right now the market has crashed and absolutely moved slightly below this. So this is the level that mostly I was just waiting to see, because number one, we were to see this level here. So let me just highlight this area here, and then we talk about why as the market moved all through this and what is the next for this. Then we just talk about the fundamentals, all right? Now, if you look at this situation here, the prices for the gold, you look at this area here. This is like an underblock where you can get so many unders being into the market. If you use the volume, you're going to see that that area here is where we are going to be getting so many orders, right? Many people buying from this zone, and this is when the market was actually moving, because you can see since this market touched this, the market started moving all the way up to the top. That was actually around 4,300. This every single day the market was creating high. I think it's just maybe some days where we got a small retracement, but right from there you can see every single day the market was moving up. And I think that is where so many creators, so many traders, every single day they were buying when the market opens, buying every single morning, and then they were just trapped around this area here. So you can see this area is very important because it determined, like it changed the future of how the price of gold moved into the market, and that's actually was around 42.70. That is the price. Also, that is why we got a very big rejection around 43 here, 43.30. Market went up the way back. Look at that, 43.80 all the way to that 904. You know how much is that? You know how much is that? That's actually a lot. That's actually a lot. $400 down. That was really crazy. So this area here, because you can see as well, we have another rejection around this zone here. There are a lot of reaction here. So I was also waiting to see, if you look at this price here, also this market almost approached this zone. So that's why this zone was very critical at that hour. Also in this scenario, as you can just see it on this market here, maybe we just be waiting to see whether this market, this actually can be actually to something like to wipe out all those entries. Maybe we are going to get a reaction from this level, and I think, yeah, so maybe gold has already moved so down 50, around a bigger percentage into this market. But if this market start moving up, expect this market actually to react around before even we touch 5,000. But this is the most important region that you can just see here. That's you see the market went all the way fast. I think this is just the opening. Once the market just opened around midnight, I was checking on that, and the price really moved so crazy. That was almost the gap. If you go to the stock indices, you're going to see some gap that was created in this market. That is what you see right down here. So from this, maybe we can just wait for consolidation around this area here before the market pumps up. And I expect maybe the last price we can just get maybe is going to be 41.90. I don't expect this market maybe to move further from this 41.83. So for long-term investment, I think we're almost there. We are almost there. For the people, maybe I'm going to invest all the way to 6,000. All the way to 6,000 once these markets start moving up. This is really going to be critical. The reason, again, this point is very critical, I'm going to be telling you right now why this section is very critical. Yeah, good morning traders. Patrick is here. Frida Kwambuka, now you're good. Thank you, Frida, for the update. Kings Valleys there, welcome. Lesney, welcome. So we are on. I think the sound is really good, and then we're just going to continue with these projections. Yes. So that is what you really have. So you see, this region here is really going to matter a lot. Sometimes, you know, when we have uncertainty like this, it's not really necessary for you to have a sniper entry. Sniper entry comes when we have these things. Now, what is happening? What is happening? Because the stocks are down, and why is the market moving down? I think that is the first thing that we need to understand here, so that we can just know what is the next projection, like where is this market going to move to. That is very important. Like, where is this market going to move to? Okay, I was checking on the whole. I think the market is down 63, 64, 63, 64. All right. This is nice. That's nice. That's nice. 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 That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. 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 I see. I see that. I see that. I see that. I see that. Let's resume with this. Now, what is next? What is really happening? Let's just start from there. Number one, this is very important. Look at this. I want you to look at this. This is what is happening. Some people don't know this, because this is what professional traders are looking at. And you just think the market is doing a correction. You just think the market is doing whatever it's just doing. But that is not true. So if you're joining this live, ensure that you like as we proceed on this. It's really very necessary. If you like this live here, that is, so I have this chart here. So we are going to open another one here. So we are diving into this things here. Now, this is what you need to understand here. We need to look at 2-year round. This is very important here. This is the US 2-year bond. I don't know how it is written. Okay, let's go to the bond. So if we just go to the bond here, we are using the trend view. You're going to see the 10-year bond. So the most important things here is this one. These two, you see, this is actually the United States, because we are dealing with the dollar right now, the one that is suppressing the prices for higher prices, and that's why you see. So I'm going to close this path. Let me just close this thing here so that we can have enough space. So let's look at 10-year round. What is happening? So look at this. Look at this. So what is this? This is really very important, because once you look at the 10-year round and once you look at 2-year round, this is the one that is going to give you on the interest rate decisions. Like, this is the prediction. Like, this is it. This is what you look to know what is going to be happening to the future of the interest rate. And of course, when the interest rate are just hiked or just moved up, of course, we just expect the dollar to kick up and just move up. This is very simple. So you can actually literally say, when you're looking at 2-year round and 10-year round, this is actually the bond market. And it's just very simple. When the bonds are up and when you see this percentage just up, of course, that is then just the same as interest rate. So you can just put it directly proportional to this. Now, you can see these have absolutely increased by how many point? By 45 basic point. Now we are up 45 basic point. So this is very serious. This is very serious. Since the start of 0.5, like this, from 3 point all the way to that 45 basic point. It's just this here. So this is very serious, because now it just projects, you know, number one, Fed normally hikes the interest rate either by 50 for 25 Yeah, it can either be 25 basic point, 50, 75, just moving like that. I think the best that we have seen is around 50. Maybe other nations like Europe and all that. So that is very serious. So when you see the bond increasing, that means that this market is projected for the interest rate to be hiked by the Fed. What does this mean? Because why is this increasing? Because the fuel prices, last time we checked on the gasoline, how the gasoline has been moving. So if you just go look at this, apart from also the Brent oil, so if you look at gasoline, let's look at the gasoline. Gasoline. That is that gasoline. Let's look at the gasoline. Okay. Look at these prices of fuel. So this is just basic things. This is what actually drives this all these. So these are all leading indicators that will tell where the market is going to be moving to. And this is serious, one of them. If you look at the prices of oil has actually been moving up. So this is very simple. You know, of course, when the prices of oil rises up, even in your country, what do you expect next? Of course, you expect everything to just move up and the inflation to just come in the future. And that is what is happening. So when this moves up like this, you expect as well the bond to move up. You expect the 2 year round to just move up, and this is very serious. And you can see it has actually been moving from right of March since this war started, and you can see it is really up all the way up. So it means these people are paying more for the oil prices, fuel prices, gases, and all those things are really hiking up. And I think it's increasing all the prices of other items. So the market and the US is at risk of inflation. And that's why we, the Fed, even the percentage, you know, there's that percentage of voting from Fed members, like shifting from the lower. So many people are being expecting the Fed to either maintain the interest rate or they hike the interest rate. Right now, the Fed is on the higher note, on a high percent, just expect them to hike the interest rate. That is to curb the inflation that might be affecting these US and affecting all these things. And as you see, when you look at the DXY right now, you're going to see the DXY actually trending above 100. The next thing that you can actually check on this is how the VIX has been performing. So the VIX is actually a fear index. So if you look at this, you realize that it's actually been moving up. So that means we are on the high risk of. So many people are not interested to buy very risky asset like stock market, stock indices, and now so many people now want to move to less risky asset. So this is very serious things. So this is a very serious things. I know some people this might not be so much of interesting to them, but this is the best thing that you really need to look at. But one of the things that is really amazing this morning, after hitting around 27, which is the 27 here, you can see the VIX is really down, like the fear is really down. But at least I think when the time that Trump gave, so let's see here, let's see something else which is very important. So when this time elapses that Trump gave the Iran, let's see. So you remember this message that actually was weekend, and I think if not a threat that was issued by Trump on 13 minutes past the market closing on Friday, if he just maintained this, I think this could have moved the market up. But because later he came and drew a threat, I think that is why you see the market really moving down. Because on this side, at least this is positive, saying that we are almost done and close to our objective as we consider a great military effort in the Middle East, all this one, completion and degrading Iran capabilities, all this one. So this was really positive to the market. But right now, after sometimes you can see what is just posted here, which is very serious. Now we got the Trump now posting this. Let's see around this area here, which is Aha, this is a threat. You see this threat here? This is what is moving the market, and that is why so many traders now fear this market right now. Because if Iran does not fully open the Strait of Hormuz without the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point, then the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants. This is very serious. As you see, the oil prices are moving up, and today's stock market moved so down. So this is very serious, and that's how you see the market just moves slightly down. So when is this going to elapse? Let's see. Because I think this was posted around 2:44 a.m. So we are going to see that tomorrow around around tomorrow. That is this is going to elapse tomorrow. This is tomorrow around. So don't sleep. You may wake up in the morning and you hear Trump speaking about other things. So for those who love sleeping and all those things, sometimes you're going to wake up and the market will be trending in a very crazy way at that time. So be careful and keep look on that, on what is really going to be happening. So this is going to elapse to tomorrow at 2:44 a.m. Keep watch on that. Let's see what is going to say, because also Iran issued a threat saying if you're going to hit ours, we are going to hit yours. And this is very serious, because if we just proceed on that, this is really going to affect not only their countries but globally. Everything is really going to move up. The market is really going to collapse. Everything is going to be so much dangerous. So apart from the technical analysis that you normally check, those are the most important thing to need to understand right now. So before that time, the market is really going to fluctuate. So many traders are going to weigh in, and I think we might be hearing something, because I think if Iran is going, their nuclear or their power plant is going to be hit by the US, they're going to experience a lot of things right there. Their economy is really going to move really down. They are going to experience them blackout. Like crazy things are really going to happen into Iran. But remember what they said. They said what? If you're going to eat ours, you're going to eat yours. And what made this market even to move up is this statement where they said, if you do that, then we are going to completely close the Strait of Hormuz. What does that mean to the market? If Iran is going to hit, if the US is going to hit their nuclear, their power plant, of course, according to the Trump's ones here, then Iran is going to retaliate with hitting, with closing completely the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, the prices are really moving right now, with some countries actually passing through the Strait of Hormuz. If they are going to close completely the Strait of Hormuz, I think many countries are not really many countries' economy are not going to survive even 7 days. Let's say about Iraq, or some countries are really not going to survive long. China including them. So specifically for the countries that import a lot of oil and higher percentages through the Strait of Hormuz, they are going to be affected. Even in our country right there, we are going to be affected. Don't think that you're in Nigeria or in Kenya and they're not going to be affected by that. They're going to be affected so dangerously, because the fuel prices are going to be cut, or maybe going to be very scarce. Like it's going to be maybe limited to some people. You're going to see maybe the fuel is going to be for ambulances and maybe government vehicles. It's not going to be serious, and then you see everything just moving up. To move maybe from let's say even from Thika to Nairobi can be actually be around 500 or maybe 1,000 bob. So it's really going to be very serious. Some people are going to work from home. So like the world is really going to be like even worse, more than even COVID time. So that is what you really need to know. So the way you can just see the market reacting right now, but of course, these guys have to come up with something maybe at the end of this. That's why between this moment right now, between this hour right now and midnight before the market closes, remember when the market closes around midnight and opens around 1 a.m. West African time, remember we just have like 1 hour before the time elapses, and that means between right now and midnight, and today midnight, is really going to matter a lot. So keep following this, if I'm going to receive a ceasefire for this, because the terms are very crazy. If they're going to do that and they don't agree and they proceed with the war and the war escalate, things are really going to be very serious. So if you have your positions opened, be very careful on that, because it's either they're going to make you a lot of money or you're going to lose a lot of money. I have some position that I opened and I'm trapped and I can't close them because my account is really big, and I just allow them. So if I'm going to blow it, then just pay, because I know the market might be shifting. So what is my opinion? The market might be shifting anytime. Like we might be getting the market reversing and at least moving on the upper side. That is what you get here. Yeah, you can see when you look at the VIX right here, like the market has actually been struggling to move past this level here, which is around 27, which is actually around 27. So the market has actually been struggling to move past this. So that is very serious. Look at this. So do you know one of these? This was actually the COVID time. So if you look at this, you see down there is actually 2020. That is when the market moved all that down. That is when this market moved down all the way. Everything was just collapsing on the VIX right here. So the VIX actually went all the way to 79. I think that is the first time people experienced something like COVID. Some people thought the world is ending, and that is, you see, something just happened like that. But if the VIX right now has not moved past that 40, 50, 60, that means there is likelihood maybe we are going to really move back, because you can see there is a time we underachieved. I think this was around 2025. That is the last year, the first time this war started, and you can see this time the fear is not that really much, even if the VX is up, not that really much. That means maybe we have a possibility for this market to move back. These are serious things, by the way. These are serious things. These are serious things. So what I have right now, what is running is silver. I just bought a 0.1 silver at 63. So I'm going to place it stop loss at 62, but I'm going to be holding it for long. So I'm not going to lose a lot in that position. So I'm going to hold it all the way, because I know if this market starts shifting, then just one single position, silver can actually move all the way to 90. And that is another bigger thing that we can be getting from this market. So you just need to connect all those dots from what we have right now. So be very careful. If you are a swing trader, you are a day trader, make sure that your position, the one that you're going to open right now, you close very hardly, because tonight is going to be dangerous. Tonight is going to be the moment of truth, and no one wants to be defeated in this war. And all those, of course, Iran cannot just surrender like that. These are people who are willing to risk their citizens' life for what they believe in. I don't know. The Trump is another criminal. So these are two guys who are just competing for the power. You see that this is very serious. That is why now you need to look at on your trends that you really have in your market, because the entire market is cooked. What is happening? If you look right now on the stock market, let's see, and there's stock. Let's see, Forex market bubble. I want you to look at how the market is really performing. This is the entire market. This is the entire market on how it's performing today. So this is stock market. So let's gather data. Let's gather data here. So how long afternoon sun buying gonna work this week? Yeah, maybe the market is going to reverse. I think these guys have to work something out. The market need to go back, otherwise the round will not be the same. So if they are going to hold this war once more or this week, the round will never be the same again. So they need to work out, and that's why you see the Trump is finding an exit on this. He is saying that I'm looking for someone to talk to in the Iran to for ceasefire, but I can't find, I find none. That is really a very serious thing that is happening. So that means anyone is just looking for an exit in this war to end. But no one want to start it. No one want to start this. But I know maybe this is coming to an end. So anytime we might be experiencing the market moving in a good way, maybe reversing and green. Right now, everything is red. That's why I wanted to have. I wanted to have. Let's also have the crypto bubble. Let's see how it starts for me, because Bitcoin over the weekend has actually been doing worse. So, I think these are just meme coins that are just performing like this. So this is Siren, this but look at that, the entire market is red. Bitcoin following it. 9%, negative 9%, 3%, 6%, 5%. Also in the crypto is really blending right now. We have, I don't know why I can't get. So these are 500 companies, top 100. Let's see how they're going to give us these bubbles, because 95% of the stock market is down. And this is actually due to two things, because we're in the risk of, right now, no one is interested to buy the risky asset. That includes the stock indices. Actually, no, let's say generally stock market, because that is what is really happening. The crypto side is down 9%. Right now, I think some are really 9% down. Everything is really down right now. Can you really buy this deep? You just need to wait. Especially tonight. You just need to wait, like tonight, maybe at the top hour. Let's wait for the New York session. Let's see how the US are going to be reacting to this. Let's see how they're going to react when this market open. New York session. Let's see if you buy stock market, that is fine. If you want the currencies, let's project on 3 p.m., 4 p.m. there. See how the market is going to behave around those top hours. It's really going to matter a lot. Yeah. And that's just because of one thing, the threat that are being thrown in these two guys, right? So that is very serious. So my projection, I'm looking not on the gold, because I really don't trust gold. But at least if you look on the silver, but make sure that the broker that you're using does not have very big contract size, because some have bigger contract size, such that when you open a position with 0.01, like you see, you are gaining a lot and losing a lot. That is very serious, because you can lose all your account. So be careful with that. Or if you are trading, we are trending silver. But I'm interested in silver, because I know the silver, yes, is back 50% down in I think in almost 2 months, 50% down. That is the reason number one. If the Strait of Hormuz opens, the silver is really going to be up, maybe to 90. At that level, that is maybe where we're going to find stabilization, where the market is going to stabilize around 80, 90. So that is really a big one that we can receive from this. Remember also silver, before we got other news, silver was trending around 59. So around 60, 58 there. So if the market is going to get to 60, buy around there, because the possibility the market can keep that. That is what we have. The gold side, I don't think this area here is what matters, and that is what I want us to. This is what I want us to this to stick in our mind. That's a possibility for this. This is actually a very big move that need at least this bigger move here need at least a correction. This is a very big one. Need at least a correction before we continue. There's no market can move in a straight. Remember when we moved above this area here, and people thought that the market is going to move very straight like this. Look at these candles right from this place, 43 all the way to the all high. Look at this. What happened around this area here? Market correcting this 100%. The same thing that you can see here from the top here, which is around 52 all the way to 41. That's $1,000. So maybe we can just be getting 46 all the way back. Yeah, do we have? Can you buy right now? You just have to wait. I already told you that the market is in the verge of movement, a lot of uncertainty right now because of these two guys, how they are talking, and everything that is really happening to this market. So we need to be careful with how the market is trending right now. So this is serious. So that is serious. So that is what I'm looking at. The dollar, although it's just gaining, also the JPY is gaining. Remember the position that we in place around 161. Still, I'm projecting for that. In case maybe we touch that, I'm going to be in like a sell around those zones here. So let's see what is going to be happening tonight. My eyes, my ears are very sensitive. My eyes are very sensitive, watching everything, tuned in every news, because any moment from now we just have 12 hours, like 13 hours before everything blows up. Any moment from now anything can just happen. So don't just open just any positions. Let's look, is there going to be peace in these countries? Because if that is going to happen, the market is going to do at least recover from this era. But one thing I know is that Trump, although he's having so much threat to these countries, he cannot actually go beyond that, because he knows what this guy want to finish well, you know. And I saw the Biden actually condemning Trump. Like, is it, how do we call it? Like, huh? Yeah. So this how Biden was actually, saying these things, and it was actually like a monk. He was monking Trump about the economy, how he's left everything well, but Trump came and crippled everything. So that was serious. Yeah. So that was really bad. European stocks open lower as Iran war stretches into fourth week. The reason I wanted us to check the these bubbles right here is because 95% of the stock market are down. 95% of the stock are down. 90%, 90%, 90%, 90% are down. 95% are down. So that is why the market is really moving down. So many people are moving out of the stocks market, and data refreshes every. I don't know why this is not open, because I wanted us to see how the bubbles for the stock are doing exactly like this. But it's still okay. It's still okay. So so I've just laid it down. So that is how it's supposed to be. So we just wait. Let's see how things are really going to unfold, and then we can just react to those things, right? Let's wait and see how things are really going to be unfolding tonight. A lot of uncertainties waiting, bigger information waiting, announcement, who is going to surrender, what are we going to be receiving from this market. Then we'll just be back to scalping. So we'll be getting to scalping because we don't want to be caught in the middle of this problem. We don't want Okay, back. Can you repeat that again? I don't know what is happening here. So it's uncertainty. Uncertainties. Eh? So this is what I'm talking about. If you look at the US 30 right now, if you look at the US 30 right now, if you look at the US 30, this is how it's just performing. Very nice, very nice. The market has actually been moving right down. And if you look at the all-time high we achieved from the US 30, 5,500. And the current price that we have is actually 4,500. We are $5,000 down, almost 10% down. That is really very serious. But you look at this trend that you draw here, 1 2 3. This is a very strong resistance zone, a support line, support trend line that we have in this market. A possibility for this market to move to 46, 47, and probably even break a new high and moving all the way up to 40, and maybe create another high. Another serious thing, because we are on the daily time frame, which is a daily time frame right here. So if I use even the RSI, you see on the daily time frame we're in the stream level of 24. So if you look at here, we have 24.25. 24 is actually very low, specifically if these are stock indices. And this is very serious, because once we touch something like 24, 20 there, you see how much reversal normally happens into this market. And that's why, look at this also, a very big high in demand area that we've been getting. This area market moving up like this. Even this actually closing position that we got around October 2025. Market created a gap, and you see this is very serious. So the things that you need to know right now. So my projection for the stock, if you're an investor, if you have big account, start buying right now. I know, because today is on that or 23rd of March. 23rd of March. So anytime we might be hearing something going, and it's going to turn this market up. How this market normally connect with news and all these things, sometimes you just have to wonder, because it normally connect. Like for example, you see the market touching levels like this area here, then all of a sudden you hear positive news coming in and the market moves up. That's how the market is just interconnected. Like market is connected, so gone. That is the thing that you need not to miss. So around this area here, I'm going to keep buying as US that keep going down from 45 around those areas. I'm really buying. US oil is trending right now at 63. 60s, I'm buying. Like they are 60s. I'm an investor, so I can just keep this event running a month. These things have to come to an end anytime, and if it escalates, maybe the world is still going to experience something that has never experienced before, even the COVID time. What is really worrying me right now, the VIX is trading around 26. It's not up just like the COVID time when it touched around 80, trending at 26, but the stock are crashing very hard. That means things are really changing nowadays, and it's really very serious. So stock indices buying, because anytime we see some shift from risk off to risk on, then the market is really, investors are going to put a lot of money, because number one, the price will be cheap for the stock indices, and I think the market will be moving all the way up to create another high. Mark this. Those people who have money, if this was going to come to an end anytime, anything, they'll buy stock indices like never before, because the prices right now are very, very cheap. So you're going to see the market moving every single day. You're going to see new high, new high. So if you're going, the war is going to be hover, and you'll be, for example, in stock indices, let's say Nasdaq, US 30. Let's say even maybe you moved to European stock indices like Nikkei. Make sure that you keep them, keep buying. You not keep buying, actually hold at least even for a week, because the market will be creating bigger high and it's just going to be moving up. 0.1, like 0.1 right now, if you buy stock indices like 0.1 right now and hold, maybe when this war is over, and let's say it's over tonight and you bought today, if the market is going to hit a new high, let's say 50,000 again, that's a $500 clean. It's going to be amazing. And I don't think I don't think. Let me be true on this. So if I have $500 right now, I can just open up one position for that. Is a good investment because actually you can flip that account in maybe 1 month. If I have $500 right now, I can just open a one position for the US that is 0.1 because there's no way this can move below for 40,000 unless it moves below 40,000, of which is now will be at crisis. The world economy will be collapsing. So the 500 you can risk it to this market 0.1. 0.1 you put or in no stop loss, buy stock indices USD, hold all the way. When the market rises to 50 or new time high, you have flipped your account in a very easy way. But make sure that you use the broker that does not have overnight swaps. That is one thing. Actually, we need to talk about the swing trading because those are things that you need to consider on this. The 50% silver is down 50%. That's why I'm just holding small positions because I know once we get back to 100, that's very big. That's actually growing your account so much, like bigger times. Yeah. So make sure that you follow Trump on Truth Social. For those who don't know, don't go on Twitter following some people there. Twitter is full of propaganda, especially if you trend crypto. Don't follow those guys. Just do your thing. So if you follow them, just don't consume and act according to what they say because they normally manipulate the market, false news, false information. You're going to receive them up there. So don't go on Twitter and just go to the Truth Social, follow Donald Trump. Anytime you'll be seeing something happening right there and the market is going to react in a crazy way, that's how you're going to just do it here. Remember also to be checking on how this is performing. Look at the bond, it's still performing so nicely here, moving up every single day all the way up. That's actually what is driving the dollar right up. And I think this is serious because I think up to now, if this was going to extend this week, inflation is really going to hit the US in a very hard way. And I think there's no way Trump will want that, the inflation to hit his country, because cooling inflation is very hard. Let me tell you, it's just like gaining weight. You know, inflation is like gaining weight. Inflation is like gaining weight. Allow me to change the battery. Let me remove. I will talk about this. Wait, keep tuning on this. Well, don't disappear. Let's 1 minute. Oh, we are back. This is what I'm saying, Well, very simple. Let me repeat this statement. Hear me out. Inflation is like gaining weight. All right? To gain inflation, very easy, because you can see, for example, the time we started this war started, inflation just moved very easy, like very fast. But trust me, cooling inflation to calm down takes time. It's just like losing weight. It takes time, my friend, and you're going to sweat before you just move them down. Trump knows that because there's a way the inflation can actually touch some point, and maybe the market is not really going to move. The inflation is really going to be very hard to cool them down. So you see, for example, they've been trying to cool inflation all the way from 6%. Now we are talking about 2.4%, almost to achieve their goal of 2%. And now all of a sudden, when we are almost to hit our goal, now all of a sudden, a simple war. You thought maybe things are going to be very simple. Inflation kicks in, and you are then back to zero. Getting and inflation moving up is just like gaining weight, but losing them, my friend. Cooling the inflation is not easy. It takes time, but getting to the inflation is just matters of 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Inflation will be very high, like the way we have never seen before. So this is serious. What do I think about this? I think Trump might actually come in and try to be in this case, to at least help in the inflation not to move excess, like let's say excess of this, like if you move to 3 point something percent, that will be very serious. Sometimes you'll be seeing the inflation actually reducing by 0 point something, and it's really very serious. That's a very big one. But when it increases by a percentage, that is serious. Gasoline is up, bread is up, everything is up. This is 10-year round is up. People are projecting that we might getting an hike, 45 basis points up. So that is serious. That's very serious. Let me answer your question. What do you crashing? Wow. Okay. Crashing. Wow. This is not actually crashing. That's just the behavior of a gold nowadays. Gold around 2020, those times, although the VIX was very up, there was a lot of fear and all those things. The market was not really moving like nowadays, because the price was trading around 1800. So the biggest we can get high is around $100 move. But nowadays you see 500. But just because the market has already stretched, the market has already stretched, like gold prices moving up. So the more you expect the prices of gold to keep moving up, if there's a time gold is going to hit 10,000, maybe it's going to hit 10,000 either this year or next year. Expect bigger volatility to be happening in the gold. Like gold can be moving to 10,000 to 6,000, maybe even in a single day. So the more the price is, the more market is then, the more market is going to stretch, the more we are likely to have this crashes happening. And sometimes people think it's a crash, that's the same. Could you be thought that the prices of silver could have actually moved from 120 all the way to 50%? Because if that could have happened maybe last year when the price was around 50 and moved all the way back, maybe 50%, 25%, that would be a very big crash all over the news. But right now, you see, it's a crash of 20, that move, but it's not really that bad or considered as really big crash that is happening. Yeah. Yeah, but what I'm thinking right now, US 30, Nasdaq, very good time and very big opportunity. Maybe for us to have some good entry. Okay, let's see what traders are really doing right now. This is the next step. What are traders doing here? Retail traders. Let's see. I want us to see what they're doing. They're doing. Let's check. I want us to check. This is livestock commodities. Let's see on the metals. Let's see on metals. Let's see gold. So this is gold. So we have gold here. We have silver. 52 weeks high, negative 138. That is on March. This is actually futures. 17 March 17. Today is on 23rd. Oh. This market needs to be changed. Like people have to change this. We need to stay. We need positive orders. Come on. Come on. You see, this has actually been increasing so much. Like 10-year round right now here. This is European futures. Yeah, let's see. We can also check on the US. You're going to see them. So all the round has actually been increasing all over the world just because of this. Metal 5 years, they not 1.6 M on us. March 10, March 17. Yeah. Of course, over the first 52 weeks low, 1.69, increasing, right? All of the February. This has actually been increasing crazily. This is up. I don't know whether you can just see all this 5 years, 2 years. SP 500 mini, these are future. March 10, at least this is trying. I'm not going to talk much about this. So for those who be asking, you see, the dollar is the only one that has actually been making the market move down. Gold, silver, but silver actually, the trading of the silver has actually been doing way down. Transportation of silver, that's actually been good, moving down. That's what you see now. As strong dollar pressures metal as the market braces for fresh volatility. So this is serious. That is one that has actually been moving the market. Look at the dollar gains on concern of a lengthy war in Iran. So that's why I'm saying, because of this is what we're waiting to see tonight. Before Trump on Saturday said that the war is almost wind up. He is now concerned more on not on the Iran things, but now he's concerned more on the Strait of Hormuz. And they need that to be open. That's why he did just those threats. And I think that can happen. If maybe that is going to be over, and we need actually to see what is going to be happening tonight. That's why today matters. Today is very important day. Today is very important day before the market closes. This is really matters a lot. Is this going to end? Because if this is going to end, it's not that means that dollar is going to move down, but at least we are going to get the prices moving in a crazy way, in a some crazy, maybe some recoveries for the stocks. Gold also to be recovering from that. Yes, that is what is going to be happening. How long will this rally in gold has overtake the US? Okay, so forget about. I think this is for the March 20th. So that is what we need. That is what we need to know. So these are what's happening right now. I think this failed to open, so I just leave it and just leave it like that. So you can see actually it is affecting all countries. That includes the European stocks. And that's why I'm saying that 95% of stocks are down. So all stocks actually, not only the US stocks, but every stocks is down. And this is very serious. This is really very serious. So if you check on the Nike, if you check on the Don Johnson, they are here. SP500, the dollar index is really moving up. It's P500 fix. So this is a to measure for the fares. That is what the fix that you'll be looking at, because today it is up 3%, and weekly I think almost 11% too. So when this comes down, at least things will be stable enough. Yeah, but still, I think maybe we're ending to the time maybe that we need a reversal from this market. And I think if that is going to happen, if you're going to get peace, there are so many people who are preparing to move inside this market. Remember, there are a lot of people who have moved out of the stock market, maybe preparing and want to find a very good entry into this market. Yeah, so we saw so many people getting out of stock, crypto side, and I think that is once the market prints something positive, it's really going to push this market so up. So you need to be preparing for this market any time from now. I don't know why Trump. You see, also he pinned this comment. This is only pinned comment about that was posted. That actually this is crazy, because I think this statement would have moved the market on a positive note. That was on Friday after the market. That is actually on Saturday, 13 minutes past midnight. That was actually on our time, East African time. That is 13 minutes after the market has closed. And that's why you saw this statement here. And you can see it actually it has pinned this statement. And it just means one thing, that maybe there's likelihood for this, because this is very important. Getting close to achieving our objective. This is very important here. He has pinned this comment right here. He has pinned this. So if he has pinned this information, then the means, of course, there is an exit strategy. I think these guys will just go and come up with something just to save the market. There is something they have to do, whether it's a lies, whether it has to be lies and all that. They have to come up with something to save this market, specifically for the stock market. Inflation that is really destroying this market. Do you have right question here? I think we have covered enough for the news. We have covered on what we need to wait. Right now, I'm not going to give you a signal, because we need to wait for the hour. Maybe the market is going to experience more volatility before the time comes in. So let's keep on watch on that. So the market might be experiencing higher volatility before that time. Before that time comes in, this is what we have. My position is still running. Remember what I just told you. My position is still running. I'll just keep it like that. Maybe towards the end of the week. The positions that we opened on Friday, I just closed them because of if I'm going to open, let me tell you, if I'm going to leave a position to run on Friday, then I'm going to open another position. Whether it's a buy, I'm going to open a sell on that position, and then I just keep it running so that then the market keeps selling. Then I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Like I'm going to leverage it. So that is what I can do. So in case I maybe want to leave the open position, I'm not going to close it if I'm on loss, on drawdown. What I can just do is actually this is what I do most of the time. If I'm on drawdowns and I have an open position, then I can just open another position. If it's a buy and the market move down, I'm going to open a sell position so that when this market moves down, then it's just like maintaining the position. Like you want it to be like that. Serious. So that is what I can do to prevent the market creating a backup of Monday and then just lose everything. Oh, the big book brokers, they cannot allow you to open the position immediately the market opens because they don't want you to make money. You just try. The market opens is moving, but when you try, it tell you, the market is closed. The market is closed, and the market is moving. You want to buy. There's a very big gap. The market is recovering. You want to buy, or the market is dropping like a bomb. You want to sell. The market is closed. Seriously, who does that? Who does that? So I'm not interested in this right now. Once this guy does everything, then I'll be notified. So no problem. I'm okay. I'm really, 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 really okay with that. Who is this? How is this doing? What is this? One siding is equal to $3 and it has risen by 84% in the past one day. And 4,000, this is serious. 1,316, 4,000 in 1 year. Seriously? What is this? What is this meme coin? With a market gap of 2.25 billion. It's ranking right now number 37 and rising to number 17. What? Now trending at $3 right here. So it was trending below $1, right? Seriously? It's available on this platform. I think this is Binance, Gate, Max, KuCoin Gate, and Bitmart. Yeah, seriously? What? I fear meme coins. I once lost a lot of money on the Luna Terra, so I don't know how many know about Luna Terra. But the Luna Terra collapsed. All my money was gone. These meme coins can make you rich and make you poor overnight. Seriously. You remember this? Do you remember this? Invest in USDT. The price right now is 45,300. Invest in USDT right now. These are very better positions. I think there are so many owners that are really developing right now. And I think maybe they are going to push this market all the way up. And I think that might be happening anytime. Not only in the US, that if you don't have so much amount of money, then you invest in Nasdaq. Nasdaq is not going to hit all your money because Nasdaq, you can open, for some brokers, you can open 0.01. That's right. You can open 0.01. You can open 0.01 lot size. So the uncertainty that is going to push this market is going to be crazy tonight. Keep watch on that. And I think we are done with this. Are you updated? Yes, say yes, you updated. You know why the market. Now let me just summarize of what we have talked about here now. Let me summarize for those who are mixed what we have discussed here in just 2 minutes, and then I'm out. All right. A summary of what we have talked about and what is just going to happen is what I'm going to do. A summary of what we have done. What you're going to do is what I'm going to do, and then we just wind this up. It's already 1:14, so I'm going to do a summary of what we have sent here so that you can just know this. If this is your first time to be here, ensure that you like, subscribe, turn on notification bell, please, because I mean be coming live anytime to give you a signal for lifetime, and then it can benefit you a lot. To subscribe, turn on notification bell, and follow me on TikTok and also other social media platform as well. Thank you. Now let's do a summary of what we have talked about today about the market. Number one, we started with looking on what is generally happened to the market. And number one, we started with the gold prices, and we're saying that gold has actually moved all the way from all-time high, which was around this 50, 56, and already down at this level. We have identified this level as very critical level around this area because you can see a lot of activity taking place here. That is for the people who use maybe smart money concept. They know what we just talk about this area here, and that's why this market might be trading, and this area might be very critical. So you can see this market dropping like a bomb from all this level that we have here, 42.10, all the way to this. That's almost $1,000. So this market need to move back at least to this level. They see 4,600, and that is actually going to be very important because I think if you use the Fibonacci, it's actually going to be around this area here of 50 or 61 of retracement point. So that is really going to be important. There's no market that moves in a straight line, so that has to happen into this market. All right. Now, the other things as we talked about is also the silver. Silver is really down 50% from all-time high that the market just achieved. So that is as well critical, and I'm buying from 60s. So that is what I'm going to buy from when the market touches those areas. What else? Now we moved to how the market is performing in terms of everything that is really happening to the market. And this case, we looked at very important thing, which is the yield, and of course we look at the bond, and we saw that the bond in the US has actually been moving up, and that means there's a possibility for the hike that actually might be happening not only this year, maybe 2 hikes that may be happening this year. That can actually be even 25 basic point next, and maybe another 25 basic point, because this is a very big move that has happened in this market, and this deserves a hike of this. Why is this happening? We saw that this inflation might be kicking in because, of course, what has driven this market is because of the prices, not only on the bright oil, but in the US, it has caused the price for the gasoline to just move up in the year 2026 around March. All right. So if you look at the gasoline, you see the prices have really moved all the way up. Right now, you can see 3.27. If you compare that on March or maybe from January when trading around below $2, and right now talking about almost double of that. That is serious, and that's how you see this market might actually be triggering that. So if you see the prices of fuel and gas moving up, of course that has to spike in the inflation that you see happening, and that's why now you see the prices of fuel, because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and all that happening and causing all those chaos, causing the prices of fuel to move up, is causing also the bond to move up. And that you see now there's a possibility for the hike, because the hike hikes now, because that is actually to increase. For example, now we're saying if the fuel prices moves up, everything actually moves up into the market. That is really serious. We just proceeding to say that how the market is performing. Also, crypto is really moving down, although we have not checked so much on how it's really moving. But if we couldn't have checked the stock market globally, 95% of stocks are really down, just like the way you can see it's really happening on the crypto side. Like everything how is really down right now, that is the same thing you can see just happening into this market. All right, so that is very serious on what is just happening to this market. So it's the same thing. If we could have opened the bamboo for the stock market, that is the same thing that we could have seen happening right here. 95% of stocks are down just like this. That includes the European stocks, or everywhere, like the stocks are really down and moving down. The other information that we talked about is the Trump of what is going to be happening today. That is actually going to be on 24th, but around late hours, where Trump actually came up with this and threatened Iran about the Strait of Hormuz. If they don't open it, it's going to actually bomb all their power plants. That includes the nuclear plant, gas plant, and everything. That is actually going to be so much dangerous. So the market is trading to that uncertainty, and as you can see, that is very serious as well, because if that is going to happen, of course, it's going to crumble all the world economy. And you can see they have 48 hours. So if you translate this, it's going to be in East African time, is going to be around 2:40 a.m. East African time on March 2026. So we have, because now we have some hours, let's say around 12 hours before the time. That is why this matters a lot at this time. So we don't have clear information on why we have to have this interest. We proceeded to say this is stock indices, that is the US 30, that's how it's been moving up. And we have this critical level, which is absolutely around this area where we've been getting the market buying from this zone. And if you look at this trend line that we drew some weeks ago, you realize that the market is absolutely at almost this level. So we're going to buy from 45, around 45.00 at these levels the market moves, and this is going to be an investment that we are going to have in this market. The next scenario you can see is, because this is on daily time frame, you can see the US 30 is trading actually below, which is this level of RSI around 14, which is very serious as well, because if the market crosses on the daily time frame below that, then it means that we are on the extreme levels, and there are not so many people who are willing to sell when the market is at extreme at these levels, and those gives the chances for buyers to come in. And of course, we have some buyers who can come in this market because already investors see the US 30, the prices is very low right now, so there's possibility they can jump in this market and buy from this level. That is the same thing that is happening with the prices of gold around this level here. So if we are going to get this war that you see here, at least a ceasefire from this, then this is going to drive this market up, because of one thing, we are going to move from the risk off to risk on, and at least the market is going to behave. We are going to see green that is going to be happening on this market. So those are things that we are observing in this market. We have few hours to see a lot happening into this market. So that is it. That's how we just analyze this market. So it's just time to give it, see how the market is going to behave. So I'll just leave it like that, and I'll see you again maybe in the New York session. That is when you're going to see how the stock are really going. So is it safe to buy or sell? I would say wait for the New York session. Until then, or maybe keep tuned. We might be getting breaking news anytime, any day, because in these two countries, Iran, Israel, US, no one wants the economic crippled, because it's affecting not only the government, not only their regimes, but also their people. So everyone want to protect the economy and their people. If we are going to escalate this, it's going to get worse, not only to their people, not only to their regime, but also to other nations just like us. So this is serious. Keep watch, keep tuned, subscribe, like this video, and follow me for more. I'll see you again at the top of the hour. Bye bye. 2 minutes, even the market has not really moved. Hey, Jesus. This is serious. 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 Oh. Yeah. Seriously. I gave you signals right here. Look at that. Look at that. And actually, don't you that Donald Trump is going to announce exactly what we sent here. So what an amazing things. What amazing. This is really great. I not even closed the trains. What? This is serious, eh? Hey. Look at that trend that I took here. $558 that I told you that I'm going to hold. And trust me, I'm going to hold that long term because there's a serious. The war has ended. Breaking news that we are receiving right now. Trump has tweeted already, and he has sent the following ones. Listen to these ones that Trump has sent. This is what the Trump has sent. All right, let's see what the Trump is saying here. This is serious. What? Listen, I'm pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversation regarding a complete and total resolution of hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of this in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversation, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plant and energy infrastructure for 5 days period, subject to the success of ongoing meeting and discussions. To answer, thank you for this matter. I told you Trump ended to intervene and just post the same thing because of how the market was moving, and the market is back. The market is back. The stock market are moving up. The best signal I just gave you is to buy from this down here. So if you bought maybe with that small $100 that I told you that you can actually invest in, then you must be up. Remember this region on the dollar that or the gold that we're talking about. This is it. So this is very serious on what we are talking about right here. So the market is up. US oil is down. Oil prices have dropped. The silver is up. The way I was just telling you that the market is really going to be up. The silver. Like now, I think everything else. I can see every alarm is ringing right on my phone for every entry that we really had. The market has jumped up all the way, and I know this is really going to continue. The market is going to be moving up and straight. Maybe in coming days, it's going to recover from the downside. This is the perfect opportunities. This is the perfect opportunities for you now. Proceed. Investors are going to be coming in. The market is going to explode. Everything is going to be moving up just like crazy. Look at the entry that we was floating in, a small entry for the US oil, for what we just been buying here. The US 30 has crossed over 47. We bought around very close actually. Yeah, this is serious. I am the best, I tell you. I just told you what the Trump is going to say, and he just saying the exact the same one, of course. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way this war could have proceeded past today. There is no way we could have proceeded past today. So this is really great. The market is back. Everything is well. And this is really great. Those who have been here, congratulations. Woo! Wow. I've not even posted the video I recorded on this because I need to post it right away because I need to post that video right away because the market is up. So these are the Trump's ones right after this. And the market is exploding right now. The market is exploding after Trump's ones. So this is amazing. So this is amazing. This is great. So we are going to keep watching the market. How it's going to perform tonight. Hey. So if you have your open position that is running, keep it going. Let it be like that for a while because the market is going to reverse. Like we are going to receive a reversal in this market and it's really going to be amazing. Keep it like that. Look at crypto market. Everything is green. Everything is green. Look at the crypto market bubble. Everything is up. The market is going to create even more highs. Like the market is going to be exploding for the next period. So the market will be creating high. So this is a time investors will be coming into the market. The market will explode. The market will explode. The market will move up. Things will be good. Things will be good. Things will be good. Things will be mighty here. Wow. This is great. This is great. This is great. Hey. 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 So this is not just a postponement of the strike that is happening on the Iran. This is not just it. Like this is not just a postponement of the strike that will be happening in Iran right now. It also means that the war is over. Like it's over. It's over. Like it is over. Like just like that, it is over. Things are really over right now. The market will be jumping. So if you see a retracement like that, maybe it's going to be a good opportunity for you to keep buying, because all the entire this week the market is going to jump. The market is going to jump the entire week. That is what is going to be happening to this market. So I'm be positioning more of my positions right there. Once the prices move down, I'm in. Once the price keep moving down, I'm in. So that is what we are going to be doing in this market. So we keep it Trump poses strike on Iranian plan. Actually, not only Iran front, but because of how they've been talking with Iran, that means now it's over. So, come on, Patrick. You were here when we are just analyzing this. I wonder. So the Trump. Let me just summarize this for you. So as we are talking live here, this is what is happening. Trump has postponed the striking that was to happen tonight. Remember what I was talking about, 244. He's saying that they have to talk with Iran, which means there is a possible ceasefire, like the war is going to end. And if the war is going to end, of course, the market is reversing. That is what is happening to the market right now. That you see the prices are down. If you look at the oil prices, is going to, that means, of course, the Strait of Hormuz might be opened and a lot of things and activities is going to resume. So that is what is going to happen to the market right now, and that is what is happening. If you look at the entries that we end, that was really amazing because you remember us, these are our entries, this is the area I was telling you that we need to buy from 43 all the way, because the market is going to, if this work would have actually proceeded the way we were talking about this, of course, let me just upload this video, because even before I upload the video, I think the Trump already posted that. So that was really very serious. So the war is almost over. So if you see, for example, the US 30 is trading at 46 right now, this is a very perfect opportunity for you to jump in and probably buy from 46, 400. You buy Nasdaq, you buy gold right now at 43. Let's see, because there is another information here. There's Trump has posted again. Let's see. Another post coming in. What does it say? This is serious. I think about the United States. I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have ended over last 2 days very good and productive conversation regarding, look at this, regarding a complete and total resolution of hostilities in the Middle East, based on the tenor and the tone of this in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversation, which will continue throughout the week. I will instructed. That is what you really need to know here, that the war is coming to an end. This is your time to buy all these things that have been moving down. This is the time. So you need to buy this. So if you did not buy the oil prices, you did not buy the US 30, you did not buy the Nasdaq, the way I was just telling you, I don't know, you don't buy the silver, then I think you're not late, but at least this is the time you can still do it, because the market is not going to go back. You are not going to go back. That is the end. You keep watch. Things are really unfolding here. I have my running positions here. Everything is good. I was in on Tundron, but the market is really back, and this is nice. This is great. This is really great. This is really great. So this is the time I'm going to keep buying from this market all the way up. This is great. Great. The market is going to keep buying. Wow. So my days of over. So that was a very productive live stream that we were doing, because now that is how now things unfolded. Thank you so much. I will be coming back live again. Maybe not again, because I was to come back live maybe when this happened, but that has already happened. So keep buying, because the market is going now to move up. Look at the crypto all the way up. Great.